Hello, everyone. I'm Rick Hawkins, and welcome to day 3 of the Training Your Thinking podcast 21 Days of Mental Discipline. By the way, if you've not picked up your book, you can go to Amazon, Barnes and Nobles, but get the book so you can follow along with us in these 21 devotions. We're on day 3 today, and I'm joined by my incredible daughter, Crystal Harbert. Thank you for being here, Crystal.
Of course.
Have you ever read this book?
Yes, I have.
You enjoy it?
I love it.
What? Do you like the way it's written because it's small chapters and you can...
Small chapters, it's quick. You're feeling kind of down. One day you just pick up this book, go to your favorite chapter, and you're done in like 5 minutes, and it gives you an instant boost. I love this book.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So day 3, what do you think of yourself? Everyone desires significance. A major part of a person's significance is connected to their self-esteem. Whenever a person experiences a lack of respect, honor, or gratitude, it directly affects a person's self-esteem. In turn, people who do not have proper self-esteem do not know how to show respect to others in a healthy way. Very true.
Yes.
Today's lesson will examine the importance of valuable thoughts concerning you. The biblical passage, "As a man thinks, so is he," opens a new realm of consideration with regard to proper development. The connotation is not only where you see yourself, but also how you see yourself. As you are thinking, how are your thoughts concerning yourself? What is your estimation of yourself? Your estimation often predicts your expectation. I believe those who do not expect much of themselves have improper estimations about themselves. Estimation is judging something in regards to its worth or its significance. If I own something and I decide to sell it, I do not let the buyer determine its worth. There's a difference between relative worth and monetary worth. A price tag does not necessarily define the worth of a thing. It may cost everyone the same amount of money, but if one person needs it or desires it more than another, then there's a difference in the value of the same item. Your worth is not in the mind or mouth of those around you. Your worth is what you determine it to be. Be deliberate in positive thoughts about yourself. Be deliberate in positive thoughts about yourself. The best way for you to see yourself is to see you the way that God sees you. You will gain a healthy perception by looking at yourself in the mirror of God's Word. Psalm 139 and verse 13 says, For you created my inmost being. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you because I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Your works are wonderful. I know that full well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was made in the secret place. When I was woven together in the depths of the earth, your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. When you find yourself in moments of doubt, insecurity, or confusion, remind yourself that God sees you.
Yeah.
He knows you and He made you. Enjoy the significance that comes from His perspective and His acceptance of you. Practice thinking His thoughts concerning you. Crystal,
Yes.
I know you know this, and we've talked about it many times. Self-esteem is a powerful thing.
Yes.
It's not where you see yourself, but how you see yourself.
Yeah.
Talk to me a little bit about that.
Well, as you know, and just being very vulnerable, that is something that I have struggled with for years, is self-esteem and not feeling good enough to do this, or not feeling worthy enough of this, or even struggling with compliments.
Right.
If you give someone a compliment and they don't know how to take it, it's like a telltale sign that they have self-esteem issues.
Yeah.
self-confidence issues. But I'm so glad that God has like really walked me through that. And it was like a defining moment in my life where I literally had to do that, look in the mirror and say, no, God gave me these gifts.
Yeah.
God made me this way, and I need to be proud of who I am and walk in my calling and walk in my purpose.
Yes. Yeah.
But that is something that so many people struggle with, and that's really not talked about a whole lot.
Right.
You just expect people to be confident, and when they're not, they're almost looked down upon.
Right.
So this is so helpful to help people know what to say and how to think when they're
Right.
struggling with those thoughts of.
Isn't it amazing that in all reality, we put more value on what people think of us than
Yes.
what God thinks toward us?
Yes.
And it's almost like we begin to organize, we begin to structure our life to receive this accolade and affirmation from people. Not that that is insignificant or not needed,
Right.
but it's not necessary for you to enjoy the acceptance and the love of God. Listen, when we wrote in this book, your worth is not in the mind nor the mouth of people.
Yeah.
That's got to become real to you.
Yes.
And, when I've sold property over the years, and you've watched me do it, and I love to negotiate.
Oh yeah.
But the power is in ownership, right? So it doesn't matter how much you want to give me for what I own.
Right.
That's not the value. The value is in I own it.
Right.
So I determine the value. I determine the worth. I determine the price.
Yeah.
And that's how God sees you.
Yeah.
He does not even consider other people's estimation of you.
No, he doesn't.
When he looks at you and says, you are mine.
Yeah.
You are my treasure. You're my pearl of great price. That's a powerful thought. So these quadrants of perspective
Yeah.
must be adjusted
Yes.
for us to start seeing ourselves the way God sees us.
I tell my girls that all the time. Like, it's almost a disappointment in God's eyes when we talk less of ourselves. And
Yep.
you have to tell them, no, God said that you're fearfully and wonderfully made because he made you, and he made you to look exactly like the way you looked,
Yeah.
and have your gifts and act like you act, and don't be ashamed of who you are, because it's almost like you're disregarding God's creation.
True. And do you believe this is true, that the more we devalue ourselves, the more we attract people who
Yes.
devalue us?
Oh, absolutely.
And it's like a lesser version
Yeah.
of ourselves that we accept. And then all of a sudden we look up and people are around us and in our circle and in our life that kind of have that same perspective.
Yeah.
And I've learned if you want to go up and grow up, you have to connect up.
Yeah.
And so you have to surround yourself with people who have proper self-esteem, not haughty, not arrogant,
Right.
not proud, but absolutely confident,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
People with low self-esteem seem to lack confidence to me.
Yeah, absolutely.
So we encourage you. Anything else?
No. Good.
We encourage you today. See yourself the way God sees you. Let your self-esteem to be determined by his estimation of you. He loves you,
Yes.
and he thinks the world of you. And we love you as well.
Yes.
God bless you as you continue training your thinking.